Chapter 7, Part 5, Conservation of Energy. The law of conservation of energy is one of the most famous and important principles and laws in science. The law of conservation of energy says the following: energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only transform or convert from one form into another. In other words, the total amount of energy never changes. So understanding the transformation of energy is very important in analyzing phenomena in our life. For example, if you look at this picture, as the spring starts winding, part of the potential energy that's stored in the spring will start to convert, that's to change, into kinetic energy. Of course, not all of the potential energy will change into kinetic energy because there's a friction. So the remaining energy will go into heating the machinery and the surrounding. But no energy will be lost. For example, if you look at the picture, we start with 10 joules of potential energy and we will end with 8 joules of kinetic energy and 2 joules of heat due to friction. The total at the end is still 10 joules of energy. So energy is not lost, it's simply converted to kinetic energy and heat. Heat is a form of energy. If you look at this picture in the amusement park, as the cart moves up and down, potential energy and kinetic energy are converted into one another. The law of conservation of energy says that the total amount of energy never changes. So energy can convert from one form into another. If we look at this example in the slide, a circus diver at the top of pool has potential energy of 10,000 joules, but zero kinetic energy because he is not moving, he's at rest. Now, as the diver starts diving or falling down, he will acquire speed, which means he will start to acquire kinetic energy. Now, if you look at what happened to potential energy and kinetic energy as the diver falls down, you notice that as the diver falls down, his potential energy will start decreasing, while his kinetic energy will start increasing. If you add the potential energy and kinetic energy together, you will always get the same amount you started with. That's 10,000 joules. So the energy will never be lost. It will simply convert from potential energy to kinetic energy in this case. We have a question here to explain. Wind, as it blows over the windmills, will get slowed down. And we want to understand why. So try to explain why the wind is slowed down by the windmills, which will generate electricity. Think about this and then use the discussion board to answer this question. Try to expand on this idea as much as you can. Search on the net for information on windmills and how it is utilized to get energy, and then summarize what you learned on the discussion board. There are many sources of energy in our universe. One of the famous source of energy on Earth is coming from the sun. Now, with the new technology, we are transforming some of the sunlight we receive into electricity by photovoltaic cells. Solar cells are hooked into our home's electrical system and is used to convert energy from the sun into electrical energy. There are also other sources of energy like wind. Of course, wind is caused by the solar power also, because as the sun heats Earth unequally, this will cause wind to blow from one place to another. The energy of wind can then be used to turn also generator turbines within specially equipped windmills. The wind energy is clean and it could be stored for future use. There are many other sources of energy, for example, nuclear energy, chemical energy, and other sources of energy.